Vance, Ginn, thank you so much for joining us. Great to have you back on the show.
It's a pleasure to be with you.
To begin, what is your economic outlook for this year? Good, bad, maybe a bit of both?
I think we got a little bit of both. Maybe the good, bad, and the ugly. Maybe the good part is that I think we're going to see lower interest rates. The Federal Reserve has pushed pause on hiking interest rates as of last July, and now they're in a position of maybe cutting interest rates 3 times this year. So I think families can be on the lookout for lower interest rates. But on the bad part of it, I think inflation is going to still be around. It has moderated closer to 3% compared with the 9% it was in 2022. But we're still seeing higher levels of inflation that people haven't been able to keep up with for a while. And kind of the ugly, I think we're going to see more job losses over the course of this year as the labor market has slowed down. Some other things have been going on in the labor market. And a lot of people are concerned about profitability for the future with so much uncertainty that's happening in the economy.
And how much of this depends on the 2024 presidential election results?
That's another big part of the uncertainty for 2024. We're going to have the primaries for the GOP Republican presidential candidates, right? And who's going to come out from that to go into the general election against, I guess, the presumed nominee is President Biden. What I hope we also see is policies. What's going to be the policies from the different candidates and should put some actual meat to the bones of those policies. So that way families and businesses and entrepreneurs, lower income people across the country can understand where their dollars are going to go in the next year.
And what about for those who are maybe thinking of switching jobs this year? How's the market looking?
You know, right now, there's been a lot of people who have been switching jobs, getting higher pay. That's been a big part of this, is that in order to get higher pay, sometimes you've got to leave your job and go somewhere else. And that's important when there's high amount of inflation that's been going on. As inflation is moderating, as the labor market is looking weaker and having some slack more to it, I don't think as people are going to want to jump jobs as much as they have in the past couple of years, for better or worse. Maybe they want to stick where they're at, and that can leave some longevity. They can ask for a raise and maybe have some negotiating power to do so. So I think that could be a good thing for many workers across the country.
And it's not just factors at home. There's also geopolitics. We have the Iran-backed Houthis attacking the shipping containers that are rerouting ships in the Red Sea. You have the Asian market concerns there, and also, of course, Ukraine. How do you see that playing into this economy?
It's a great point. Geopolitics definitely has a play in what's going on here when you think about oil prices and gasoline prices and how that's going to influence the overall economy. We've also got to think about our spending and our national debt, $34 trillion. Net interest payments on the debt are going to be about $1 trillion alone just per year, and the deficit's going to be $2+ trillion. So if we don't get that part under control, that's going to influence a lot of our other ability to meet foreign and domestic in different situations that are going on and make it more difficult. And that's part of the uncertainty I think we're going to have out there. The other part of this, I know that the Federal Reserve wants to start cutting interest rates this year. That's our central bank. But I think it's going to be tough for them to do so when inflation is still around. But they might have to because of the excess spending and debt that's going to crowd out a lot of the budget for the federal government.
Vance, Ginn, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Have a great day. Happy New Year.